welcome. Today is March 8th, 2022. The time is 6:30 p.m. This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Rockport City Council. The meeting will be held in person at the training room of the Rockport Service Center, 2751 State Highway 35 bypass, Rockport, Texas, with social distancing guidelines and using the video conferencing application Zoom. These actions are being taken to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 by avoiding meetings that bring people into a group setting. Video conferencing capabilities will be utilized to allow individuals to address the City Council. Members of the public can go to the city website and download the link to the Zoom meeting. Public participation is valued, and citizens wishing to express their views on any topic or agenda item can electronically submit a citizen participation form in order to register to speak by going to the city website. If or attending the meeting in person, register before the meeting begins. Using the same form, citizens can also provide written comments to the city secretary by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. The mayor will read the comments and it is summarized in the minutes of the meeting. I'd like to take roll call for attendance. Ward 1.
Here.
Ward 2.
Here.
Ward 3.
Here.
Ward 4.
Here.
Mayor here. Acknowledge the presence of the quorum and call the meeting to order. Please rise and join Mayor Kennedy. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome again. We get to do another fun thing here. Item number 3, presentation. Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the city's comprehensive annual financial report for 2020. Award of Financial Reporting Achievement. Katie Griffith, Director of Finance, and Award of Financial Reporting Achievement, City of Rockport, Department of Finance. You want to join us up here, please?
I only have one Pete that helped me on this. He was only here for the last month of it. He had to go home.
Oh, you sent him home.
He ran. He didn't want to come up here with me.
Well, one of the nice things we have here is I received a letter earlier last month, and it said, "We are pleased to notify you that your annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2020 qualifies for GFOA's Certificate of Achievement for Excellence and Financial Reporting. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. When a Certificate of Achievement is awarded to a government, an Award of Financial Reporting Achievement, AFRA, is also presented to the individual or department designated by the government as being primarily responsible for having earned the certificate. This award has been sent to the submitter as designated on the application." They say, "We hope your example will encourage other government officials in their efforts to achieve and maintain an appropriate standard of excellence in financial reporting." Now, I believe this should be a has, the award for me
For me.
and for your
For
department.
the department.
And this one belongs to the city. So, you want to take, council, you want to join us over by flags?
I'll hold it. I'll hold it.
Wow. I've got the official phone.
Congratulations. 19 years in a row. attention to detail, and no ADD allowed, right?
Well, it happens.
Item number 4, presentation, promotions in police department. Chief Stevens, please.
Mayor, council, city staff, and citizens here with us tonight. This is one of the best parts about my job is the opportunity to recognize the hard work and the officers that do the great job of law enforcement in this awesome community. We have a lot of promotions to make tonight, and so I want to start that with recognizing why we have these promotions. And it's great that Chief Jairo is here with us tonight. So we had our two second in commands both retire at the same time, virtually, just a couple of months apart. And so that leaves a big gap in the leadership of the police department, and it's no small thing. Those two individuals have been with the Rockport Police Department since the 80s. So that's a lot of experience going out the door, and it sort of defines a new direction, if you will, simply because they've been here so long. You've done great work, I think, for the community, and with Chief Jairo had led the department through a lot of events, significant events, the hurricane more recently, but also defined the way this police department is. So that's a big deal, and me coming in, they helped me get up to speed. I can't say enough how much I appreciate everything that they've done for me in my short time here, but for such longevity. You don't see that very often, for people to get into a career, into a job with one company and stay that long. So that's a big deal. But with that, with those two leaving at that top level, it creates attrition down the line. So where typically there may be 1 or 2 promotions, I have 5, because when we're fortunate that in those years with those 2 individuals, or those 3 individuals here, they created the possibility to have succession so that people are trained up, but also a couple of the people are relatively new to the department. So with a good mix of inside and outside, we're able to fill those gaps quickly without having to look outside. We're able to bring people in. So then we can fill the 2 second in commands, and then fill and flow with people that we've trained up. We've done a lot of work over the last couple of years so that we don't miss a beat at all. We can keep moving forward. So with no further ado, we'll get into that. The first 2 promotions, as I'm talking about, are for the second in command position. You've known that as commander. I've done just a name change in rank, and that rank will be captain. It's just simply a personal preference, something I'm used to, and then the terminology of commander. These captains, one will be the commander of the patrol division, and one will be the commander of our criminal investigations division. So that's a significant thing, because when I'm out of town or I'm for whatever reason not available, one of the 2 of these gentlemen, they are the acting chief of police. So these are big promotions. They're very significant for you as our elected officials, very significant for the city manager, very significant for our staff, very significant for the citizens, right? These are so it wasn't an easy decision. I looked at education, I looked at training, I looked at everything across the board to find the right individuals for these 2 spots. So the first person that we're going to promote is Nathan Garcia. He's been a lieutenant. He's been with the Rockport Police Department since 2009. Prior to that, he was with the Department of Public Safety for about 8 years. He's a state trooper. He did some time as an advisor in Afghanistan, a police advisor. He is a graduate of FBI National Academy. He has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He's worked in several roles in the Rockport Police Department. His wife Stephanie is also a Rockport police officer, and their daughter Kylie, they live here in town and are a big part of the Rockport community. So if I could get soon to no longer be Lieutenant Garcia to step up here with me, please. We'll go do it in front of him.
Yeah.
The background.
Lieutenant Garcia, promote him to Captain Garcia. Congratulations. I'll get him to hang tight here with me. Captain Garcia will be over our patrol division, so all patrol operations in the city of Rockport will be under his command. Next promotion will be Nathan Anderson. I've known Nathan Anderson since the 90s. He also came from the Lubbock Police Department. He retired from there after 26 years. He retired about a year or so after I did from there. He's been with the Rockport Police Department since 2020. He was one of his more significant roles in Lubbock. He was on the SWAT team for about 19 years. He was the SWAT team commander for several years, and that's what he retired from. Holds his Master Peace Officer license. He's currently going to school at Del Mar College. He's been nominated to attend the National Academy in Quantico, Virginia, and soon should be going there. Nathan and his girlfriend, Lana Ford, live in Portland with Lana's 2 children. They're here tonight, Gemma and Jacob. Nathan has 2 grown sons, Tanner and Colton, who are currently serving in the United States Army, and his daughter, Sydney, was just accepted to Texas Tech University. Guns up. So if I could get Lieutenant Anderson to step up here with me, please. He's promoting to captain. Congratulations. Captain Anderson will be taking command of the criminal investigations and so all follow-up investigations. All of our things that we do after the initial report's taken to go forward, he'll be in charge of those things. Next up is Rachel Marshman. She'll be promoted to lieutenant. She's been with the police department, with the Rockport Police Department for about 14 years. In her time there, she's become a Marine safety officer, bicycle patrol officer, field training officer. She is currently a detective, and one of her significant roles is in sexual assault crimes. She was recently nominated to serve on the Aransas County Sexual Assault Response Team. That's a state, of our last legislative session, that is a state mandated thing that each county had to stand up, and she serves on that, and even in her new role, she'll continue to do that for us. In her off time, Lieutenant Marshman enjoys spending time with her children, camping, fishing, and in the outdoors. So if I could get Detective Marshman to come up with me. She'll be promoting to lieutenant. Of significance with Detective Marshman becoming Lieutenant Marshman, so she'll be in the patrol division, and she will be in charge of one of our uniform patrol shifts during the nighttime hours. When all of us are sleeping soundly and safely in our beds, she'll be in charge out at night and making sure that things are run well. A lot of confidence is put into her abilities to make sure that part of our mission statement is not only to address crime, but address the fear of crime. And so that's a big position that she's taking over. Next up is DJ Payne, Dennis Payne, goes by DJ. He is an officer that I proudly poached from Victoria Police Department. He's been with Rockport only a short time. I say that actually, his wife is from here, and so they wanted to move here to Kelly's hometown, where she grew up, and so he came to me, but again, I'm friends with the chief of Victoria, so I like to say how much I proudly poached him. He had been with Victoria Police Department since 2008 and had served in several roles there. He was a detective in Victoria PD Special Crimes Unit. He served as a frontline supervisor, as a sergeant there, the TCO training coordinator. He was part of the U.S. Marshals Task Force at the Victoria Police Department. Served on the Gulf Coast HIDTA Task Force, doing drug interdiction and criminal investigations with narcotics. He brings a great deal of experience, both in investigations, patrol, and administration. And he will be. He doesn't have a glamorous role. He's been doing a lot of administrative work that is still yet to be defined. He'll be taking on a newly created role as lieutenant here pretty soon. In September of 2021, he and his wife Kelly made the move back to her hometown, and he's excited to be as part of our community here. So if Officer Payne would step up here with me, please. We're moving to Lieutenant. Congratulations. And finally, but absolutely not least, is Isaac Liao. Isaac has worked for the Rockport Police Department a number of times. Actually, he did not work here whenever I first came on board with the department, but he had worked here previously. He's got 23 years of law enforcement experience, a lot in the Houston area. He's done a ton of investigative work, especially in narcotics, including undercover narcotics work. One significant thing that I enjoyed reading about his history, he was part of the 36th Judicial District Attorney's Major Crimes Unit, or Major Crimes Task Force. It covered San Patricio and Aransas counties, both, and did a lot of work, investigative work, prior to coming on board with Rockport Police Department. I did, in fact, I think, poach him from the Elgin Police Department, and brought him back here to Rockport, and he's been doing some great work for us. He's been working on one of our night shifts and has done truly outstanding work. He's one of our more relied upon field training officers, and with this, with the attrition that we've had, it opened up an opportunity to bring him back into investigations. And I think he's going to do a great job at helping us catch up on some of our cases, but also lead us in some new directions that we're not currently able to cover. So I'm really looking forward to that. So if Officer Liao would come up with me, please. He will be promoting to Detective Liao, a role that he's filled before. Congratulations. So one of the significant things that means a lot to me is this is not, these folks are not up here, this didn't occur by themselves. They have support networks, their families, their friends, co-workers, and so part of this ceremony, if you will, is to have someone pin their new badges on them. And I'm going to have those folks come up. A lot of times they have co-workers, and sometimes they ask me, and I'm very humbled by that, when officers ask if I'll pin that badge on them. I've been through the promotional processes through the Navy. I've been through the promotional processes in the police department. It's not just me. It's a huge dedication from family. And so my wife is here in attendance, and she will speak to that as well. She has sacrificed untold evenings alone while I was on call, while I left the house, while I deployed, and while I studied for promotion exams. And so I recognize that, and part of that is I always invite the officers to have someone of significance in their life, a sibling, a parent, a spouse, whoever, to come up and pin their badges on them. And then often, again, I'm very humbled. A couple of the officers have asked if I would do that, so we'll do that. So if I could get those folks to come up and do that, that would be great. And remember, direct pressure on the wound if it goes badly. On my last? Just bring a brand new shirt here. I literally have to drill a hole in it. my time limit, Mayor? I got it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief. Always a great part of any city council meeting. Item number 5, citizens to be heard. At this time, comments limited to 3 minutes will be taken from the audience from persons who have signed the speaker's card located on the table in the back of the training room of the Service Center. Delivered to the city secretary before the meeting begins. Or written comments received by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting on any subject matter that is not on the agenda will be read by the mayor and summarized in the minutes of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council who have registered using the citizens participation form will have up to 3 minutes to speak. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, the council may not discuss or take action on any item that has not been posted on the agenda. While civil public criticism is not prohibited, disorderly conduct or disturbance of the peace as prohibited by law shall be caused for the chair to terminate offender's time to speak. And I have a couple of forms. The first one is from Irene Udica, 915 South Live Oak, Rockport. And she's on speaker and has comments to be read at the end. This is actually on agenda item 16, so we'll get to that and get that agenda. And I have another form that's on agenda item 15. So, are there any other forms? Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council members so request, in which event the item will be moved in the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Council, does anyone wish to remove the item?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as reads.
Second.
A motion from Ms. Hammond, a second from Ms. Jackson. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Thank you. Moving on to the regular agenda. Item 14. Hearing and rating on presentation from the committee and the Rockport Center for the Arts, Performing Arts and Cultural Center. We have a special guest.
Hi and good evening. My name is Carla Ligon. I'm the new venue director for the Rockport Conference Center, proudly now known as The Rock, ROCC. So you can imagine all the kind of things that a marketing person like me is going to do with that name. We're kind of excited. My first day in Rockport was February the 7th, and I was proudly poached by Louise. Had no thought that I would be doing this after 30 some odd years doing hotels and hotel venues and all that went with that. And I became a revenue and a marketing person and ended up just hauling it in. So this is very exciting to me. It's something that I can dig my teeth into from the dirt up, literally. I do have a mission statement. And sometimes mission statements get a bad rap, but I believe in them. It projects me forward in my mind and heart, and I'd like to read it to you. I will be an ambassador for the Rockport Conference Center, now known as The Rock. And in that capacity, I will carefully steward the management of this conference center to facilitate those matches between clients and The Rock, always striving towards the right price and experience, and never forgetting the importance of the benefits to this community its attractions, restaurants, and businesses. And to end that statement, I'd like to say that this project could be happening if it wasn't for the city of Rockport, and we all stand very grateful and thankful to all of you for that. I think I have a slide. And I just want to say at the end of this, I have bounce back coupons, which I'll explain later. So I firmly believe in saying thank you if you give me a name or a thought, so I'll have those with me. Not sure I'm supposed to address that this way, so. Okay, so this is the dream. This is what this fantastic thought process is turning now into a reality. They'll be on the right will be the actual Center for the Arts. It'll be 2 stories. And then on the left, where you see the 3 dormers, what did you call them, Louise?
Light monitors.
Light monitors. So that's my conference center, that's the Rock. This art campus is a $12 million total investment, 22,000 square feet of new space right in the middle of downtown Rockport overlooking the water. That's free and fully funded. How wonderful is that, right? Can't hardly beat that. And the construction completion date is August 2022 with a facility, I have a tentative October event already planned for it, so I think we'll have everything inside both campuses by mid-September, knocking on the wood here. Next. So this is the start. The start begins with the architect and the plans and the dream, and thanks to Luis, this has really been pushed through. He's a good partner for me. He knows everybody who knows everybody who knows everybody. So if you get sick of seeing me around town, you can blame him. Don't blame me. But anyway, that's what we have to do. So the next slide talks about what I thought when I first went in, and that was January. I first took my tour, and so it was a lot of dirt and walls, but I immediately said that I was inspired and I couldn't wait to get creative. So I think this modern industrial, artistical elegance is going to be a winner all the way around, and I think Rockport is just the city that's sitting there waiting to help us make that happen. The address will be out. We have the website. We started working on that a couple of months ago, the other Louise and Karen, and I met with the website director Monday, and I think it's going to be a great website, and we're going to have a domain soon, so I'll make sure that that gets out to everybody. So this next slide I took on February the 21st, and this is my ballroom. So I know it doesn't look like a ballroom yet, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty big. The next slide will show the 2 buildings together are 22,000 square feet. The conference center alone, the Rock, is 8,000 square feet. And in that 8,000 square feet, you walk in, there's a very large foyer. You go to the right, which is the ballroom. You go straight, which is a state-of-the-art kitchen. And storage left are the restrooms and my office. So the conference center itself, the actual ballroom, is 4,400 square feet and can be divided into 4 total rooms. I finished that price out with each of the breakout rooms. Starting on the upper left, that'll be Rockport 1, to the right, Rockport 2, to the bottom right, Rockport 3, and Rockport 4. So we're leaving that open for anybody that would like to put their name on a breakout room. We're always open to that. So we're just going with the Rockport name now around the Rock Center. Okay. And the setups, I always call these my retail setups. It's not necessarily what the end result would be, but some people really do need to know that so that they can get their mind into saying yes. So if you talk about the whole ballroom itself, you can fit 300 to 400 people theater style. 160 people classroom style, which we ordered the most wonderful tables. They're called duo tables. If you haven't seen them, look them up on the website. They're really pretty cool. We can put 220 people with dinner rounds without a dance floor, and 180 to 200 people with a dance floor, and up to 400 people in a reception. So plenty of space for us to get excited and get some bookings done. And then between the outside and the inside of both of these buildings, I can envision a lot of activities and receptions, after work, appetizers and wine. The common areas outside will have sculptures, and as we go along, you'll be able to see better photos of those. But I think my job, as we all know, Rockport has a great weekend business, especially spring and summer. So I know that we're going to be having weekend business at the Rock. But my focus is really on the company business and bookings for Sunday through Thursdays. I think every community appreciates, especially in the downtown area, that benefit. And we've got the parking spaces marked off. We've got a lot of people that are helping us with event parking, should that be the case. And also, I just came back from a 3.5-day trip to San Antonio. I was able to get a hold of databases from some of current friends, but they are directors of sales at several of the larger hotels, and it's really hard to get a database for free, especially of corporate clients, but we go back a long way, so, you know, they got a few gifts, and that was awesome. And then I went to an Air Force military retirement ceremony, and in that retirement ceremony, I was introduced to the chief and the major of the 341st Air Force Recruiting Squad, and they will be coming down for a site visit in April, 1st of May. They're looking at the Rock for this coming October and next April, so that's exciting. I also talked to some political friends who said that I couldn't say who they are in the ring with right now, but I think that they're also very interested in this place because of just the history and the quaintness and the spirit of Rockport. So I'm working with them as well. And I think that's it. I really believe that as my job progresses, that the ability to be inspired and let's talk, you might get tired of hearing, but if you hear anybody say, who's that blonde lady that keeps saying for me to be inspired and talk, well, that's me. And I never mind, my phone number is on this form, and it'll be on the website, and it'll be on construction boards. I never mind a phone call, and without the support of the community, I don't think too much gets done. So I thank you for allowing me to have this conversation with you and to talk a little bit about what we're doing, and please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'll leave these on the back table. Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to the opening.
Thank you.
Item 15, deliberate and act on second and final reading of an ordinance granting conditional use permit for development of an RV park on property located at 1411 West 12th Street, also known as 12.832 acres of land out of portions of Lot H, portions of Lot 43, Lot 251, Florence Switchheimer subdivision located in the city of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, subject to compliance with the conditions stated within this ordinance, as well as those stipulated in the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. And I've got Andrew King wants to speak on this item.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Andrew King, 2106 Lakeview Drive. So this item 15 is about RV park. So to be open and honest, I operate 2 RV parks with 206 spaces, not in Aransas County, so I want to bring that out. Last time I talked about all the great things RV parks. I think they added a lot for affordable housing, bring heads, tourism dollars in. So I don't have an issue with RV parks at all if they're done right. If you can turn to page 94 of your packet, in staff report, I'll read it. It says, Mr. is requesting a conditional use permit in order to develop an RV park utilizing 12.832 acres of the property. To date, we have not received any exhibits or specifics regarding number of spaces, layout, or plan amenities. The staff made a note to put that in the permit. So that's what I want to talk about today. It's your second final reading. If council approves this rezoning, you've put the cart before the horse, because you don't know what the conditions are. You don't know what the traffic is. You don't know what the landscape is going to be, the fencing, the stormwater runoff plan. The citizens have concerns. Read your packet. We don't know if it's one space or 122. So this isn't normal development. It may be in Rockport. It may be for certain developers. But I can tell you, I wouldn't get past city staff in any other county I develop in without conditions, without at least a plan for traffic flow, without a recent plan for addressing the citizens' concerns, without a decent minimal plan of landscaping, stormwater runoff, surveys, elevation points. This isn't normal. Once you've approved this cut, zoning change, I heard y'all mention last week, well, city staff will work the details out. City council will not. The citizens will not. You've lost control. You've approved it before you heard the details. The citizen will have a chance to come in and question stormwater runoff. They won't have a chance to come in, and council will have a chance to come in and make sure it's adequate. The conditions that are required for the neighborhood to keep it safe, to keep it in good condition. Remember, this is an R1. R1 change. You pass this, you're trusting behind the scenes for the conditions to be worked out. All I'm asking for is get it right. Do the process the right way. I'm for the project. I want to see it done right so other projects can come behind it. But I would vote no and say, go get the normal process. Go give us basic information of what you're bringing to us. Right now, they're coming, I want to turn 12 acres of R1 into something. Please rezone me. That's not normal. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Dietrich, you have this?
Good evening, Carrie Dietrich, Community Planner. So the staff report that Mr. Kane has mentioned, I'm sorry, I can't see him if I'm over here.
You don't have to get all the way up. I
Okay.
can get you close to it.
I don't know where he is. That was written for the P and Z meeting that I had not yet received their exhibits. They were received the night of the P and Z meeting, what they plan to do, what they're asking for in their cut and the spaces and all that. In reference to engineering and drainage and those types of things, you don't do that on a rezone. Once the rezone, if passed, then they will get their engineers and they have to present engineered drainage plans, engineered plans for the entrances and the drives and the roads and their utilities, their infrastructure they're going to put in. All of that would then be submitted to the building department for review. We first have a pre-development meeting to go over what we will require with them, and that will all be done after the rezone, the cut. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, this is the standard process we take with all rezoning,
Yes, sir.
and it's required. Was there any change in scope or
No, sir.
no changes at all? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Carrie, just real quick. So you're saying the P and Z got some details?
Yes.
Can we just go over those couple details?
They're in your packet. Everything that you got,
I'm having trouble finding them, sorry. I'm sorry.
and they were in your packet for the first reading as well.
Sorry. Yeah, they're in there.
Sorry, Carrie, thank
That's
you.
okay. You're welcome.
Any other questions?
How did-
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve item 15 as presented.
Motion
Second.
Second. Motion is second. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem, a second from Mr. Brundred. Any further discussion? Ward 1.
I abstain.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16. Consider enacting second and final reading of an ordinance amending the official zoning map as stipulated under Article 4.1 of the City of Rockport zoning ordinance number 1027 by changing the zoning plan from R6/R2 Hotel Motel District, second family single dwelling for property located at 1315 South Church Street, also known as part of Outlet 14, Doherty Matthews Southwest, Doherty Matthews Division, being 2.526 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, R6 Hotel Motel District, to allow individual beach-style houses, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. I have some comments from Irene Lubica, that she wishes to have read into the minutes. She's at 915 South Live Oak in Rockport. Approve with conditions. In the interest of cleaning up a decades-long ruin and eyesore South Rockport, I support the request to rezone from R2 to R6, part of this demolished property, formerly known as Oleander Courts, only if you approve it with the following conditions. 1, the John Burlett's proposed beach-style houses will actually be true beach-style houses, similar to many of the ones built during the last 20 years in our neighborhood, and hence will be limited to two-story buildings only. Please note that he's proposing as many as 28 buildings in a small 2.526 acre property. Simply said, there are not many 3- and 4-story individual buildings on a small lot that are absolutely not beach-style and are not compatible with the residential community disposed of proposed. Without any sketches or drawings being presented of the 28 buildings on that tiny site, we have no way of knowing what kind of super tall monstrosities he might build. Another condition is the development will be guaranteed in design and construction, not to exacerbate the existing flooding and drainage issues. 3, in order to ensure that stormwaters are simply not diverted to our neighboring properties and local streets, which would increase flooding there, I propose another condition, that all of these individual beach-style houses be built with 8-foot minimum stills with permeable paving in the driveways and interior roads. Furthermore, 4, I object to any city or county giving any tax abatements, incentives, or density bonuses to the owners and or developers of this property. Currently named as GTRA, Post-Green Osbon, LLC. Finally, I oppose Rockport Community Planners recommending approval of this rezoning without any useful drawings, simply because it happens to follow the crayon color in the current flawed, low-resolution future land use map and the old comprehensive plan. Any changes on this one? No changes. Council, any questions?
Make a motion to approve item 16 as presented.
Second.
Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Villa and a second from Ms. Jackson. Any further discussion? Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
I abstain for conflict of interest, and I have filed for that.
And Mayor, aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 17, reports from council. Anyone want to go first?
I'll go for Katie. For you, Katie. Ward 4, I guess not much going on. We do have a meeting tomorrow with the RCC Drainage Committee, so we can go over ideas and what we can do to help with the drainage in our area. Also, I want to say congratulations to the Rockport Fulton NJROTC for going through state and qualifying for the Navy Nationals. So please give them a hand. And I think that's about it for today. Someone else now.
I'll go now. So this is, we're coming up on second Saturday in the district, which is when we've got the Makers Market, we've got another market, we've got the new downtown market that you guys have been hearing about in all of the road closures requests for Main Street. So that's all going on this weekend. There's another Chance Rescues having a garage sale. Master Gardeners are having a plant sale. A lot of things going on this weekend in Rockport, so go out and have a good time. Thank you.
I was just gonna say the same thing that Andrea had said about the NJROTC, but also, we also have the powerlifting girls and boys, teams that are going to, state as well. Both of them, we have a few that qualified, to go to state. Guys, so congratulate them. And I believe our soccer team has been doing very good too. Red's,
One district.
yeah, so, that's all I got. Rockport's looking good out there.
I talked enough earlier today.
I know, I'm right.
Well, I just, we had our election last week, and I just want to thank all the candidates that won, congratulate them on their win, and also thank people that didn't win, but decided to step up and run. That's an effort for people to actually volunteer to serve the community. That, and I believe our sister to the north, our tiny sister town to the north, had a hugely successful oyster fest. It was a lot of fun. I hope everyone got a chance to go out there and enjoy the food, the music, the camaraderie, without the mud this year, which was good. That's it. Unless anyone has anything else. Executive session. City Council hold an executive session pursuant to provisions of Chapter 591 of the Texas Zoning Code in accordance with the authority contained in Item 18, Section 551.071, consultations with attorney, seeking the advice of attorney on any contemplated litigation or settlement, and on a matter which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the state bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter. Conscious free drainage project. The time is 17 p.m. in executive session. Time is 7:34. Rockport City Council is back in session.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. It's 7:34.